been for actual decades. And also, if you're referring to autism, you can just call it autism. And you can say that people with autism have autism. Sorry, it's the fact that you would treat an actual word like a slur, but then turn around and say an actual slur as if it was just meaningless. But these are the kinds of people we're dealing with. So, I wanted to give you a first impression of him, and it's funny, I could almost end the video here. I think some of you are like, D'Angelo, please end the video here. But I have more points to make. I do genuinely find it unconscionable that, like, this is where we're at right now. All of this is fine. I've already been dealing with monetization struggles a little bit here on YouTube. I'm not actually complaining about my job. I'm just saying, because I'm actually talking about this guy, for some reason, I am more likely to get in trouble for having this content in my video than he is actually putting the content out. I don't understand that. The double standard that seems to be happening right now on YouTube with demonetization or getting content blocked or restricted, etc. is insane. It's unhinged. Anyways, it makes me mad. Unfortunately, the next thing I would like to talk about is that anyone, since this felt like hours, chat, we've been here for 17 minutes. We've actually been here for 17 minutes. I agree with you. This is excruciating. We have actually been streaming about this specific topic for 17 minutes and 24 seconds, and I feel like I've been talking in circles about this for like 2 hours and all of you are tired. Don't worry though, I am trucking through this outline because I can't do this either. I can't do this either, okay? So anyways, I want to show you that any one episode of the show essentially has all the problems happening at once. You don't have to like scroll through this guy's channel and try to build a picture of who he is. You can literally just watch 5 minutes and see. He's a massive creep when it comes to anytime he has like a woman and anytime he has a woman on as a guest, it's not just that he's being misogynistic, he's also just so icky.
You have no words, so I'm just speechless.
We're 59 seconds into this video. Mind you, this is actually one of the first things he's about to say to her.
What, consent? Am I able to consent to roast you and whatnot? So
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, then why the fuck are your tits pointing to the ceiling?
Yeah.
Why this? Because
we never seen a goth person?
I have seen.
Bro, let's never seen this before, first of all. But secondly, the idea of actually commenting on somebody's body like this within a minute of encountering them is wild to me. I don't know how much strange content you have to be consuming or what sort of what people you have to be talking to on a daily basis where you're like, this is appropriate first impression material, I'm gonna mention your body. No, dude. God, this is such weird content. This is such weird content to be the meta right now. It is so weird that this is the meta. Also, he follows up on this whole thing later. You see him skipping along. He's like, don't find subject to worthless. Let me quote unquote have to. And we have this really painful conversation about being alt.
It's
Oh, so was that the title? Oh, did you just get here? Yeah. Did you? If you just got here, you might not know. This video is called "I Never Hated a More Vile Piece of Trash," and he's referring to her as a goth freak in the thumbnail, which is great.
You know what's funny? The shade name is Clown White, so we love that. I mean, if you look at the alt community, it's hard to find all alternative community like
There's an alternative community.
Are you
A community that is just alternative. Well, isn't everyone alternative?
I mean, I guess you could argue
Alternative
that.
to what?
Alternative?
He's so stupid. He's not only stupid. It's not the kind of stupidity where you can just write off everything he does as, oh, he's harmless because he's not very smart. He is pretty harmful and also just such an idiot. This content is frying me. As you said, are you dense? Also, as somebody who's part of the alt community, if you're clicking to this video and you're like, oh, what's going on with the hat? I purposely dressed a little bit more alt than usual just for this video. I want to stand in solidarity. I am in solidarity with God Freak. Is anyone else here in solidarity? Look at me and my trailer trash aesthetic I've got going on here. Like, you can pick me up from Warped Tour or something. Can we please stop making fun of people for things that don't matter? You can put on clown makeup all you want, and I still struggle to understand what any of this has to do with finance. But yes, please, some goth freak solidarity for real, man. I think maybe the thing that's so fascinating to me is back when, unfortunately, I was radicalized by anti-SJW content like 10 years ago. The people making it at least tried to seem cooler than the people they were talking about. It didn't work, and you would only really seem cooler to a teenager or like a deeply uncritical person. But yeah, I think this doesn't work anymore. That voice says no one even gets triggered. She's not actually mad. I think even the other woman was very calmly explaining, like, why are you talking about people this way? You can't use, you shouldn't be using slurs over people with autism. But because he is, like, going there, if you will, you have all these people sort of hailing him as, like, the resurgence of anti-SJW content. Nature's healing. And I'm so serious, by the way. Like, hold on. Look at some of these, sorry, this is not a clip. Look at some of these comments right here. We're back to posting pictures of people who have, imagine looking like this and thinking you're right about anything. 2025, 12/15. Someone posted this picture like 6 weeks ago. Not in 2015. Not in. This is why I'm making this video. It's a mix of me obviously saying, hey, I'm really unhappy that this content is out promoting everybody and this is the meta right now, but also I am actually genuinely incredulous that anybody would be like, oh, you have colored hair, you're wrong about everything in the entire world. He said he's right. They no longer have any power. Nobody cares anymore. Caleb Hammer became popular not only because he's good at finances, but it's because he doesn't sugarcoat things. Oh, look at this. The mental illness is strong in this one. I guess you're implying that people look like this. We live in bizarre world. watched this content die out. I watched it die out. I was there. I was aggressive at that time, trying to deprogram myself and disconnect and start calling people like this weirdos. And this content did get smaller and smaller. It absolutely got more insular. I was there, and now I am watching it swing back into existence. And it doesn't hit. It never hit in the first place. But I'm just like, this is unhinged. Somebody said, where was someone? America is healing. America is healing, Chad. Because we're back to saying that dyeing your hair makes you a triggered SJW. And I'm not going to sit here and be like a doomer and be like, what was the point of any of the deprogramming we did? There was a point, because things are different now. Actually, I don't think 10 years ago, I could have sat here as a black, visibly alt, freaking like, I have a non-binary man making a video, getting it back, whatever. I would have just been relegated to a meme immediately. I do think we're a little better now, obviously, but like, this is painful. This hurts. I'm sorry, God Freak. Also, I gotta stop calling her God Freak. I just find the term really funny, because it's not, like, offensive. I think that's the thing, too. Like, you could actually call me alt or God or freak or I don't know, this, that, the other, but the things that you're saying aren't bad. What is the moral argument against being evil? What is the like moral failing of being a freak? I fail to understand. Someone said, I don't know if I missed what this SJW stood for. It stands for social justice warrior, and it's typically used to pejoratively refer to people who ostensibly are vocal about social issues, but actually just gets used as a label to box in anybody who doesn't fit into what society deems as the standards of neurotypical behavior or presenting yourself a certain way or being the right gender, getting a male, or it's a mess. It's a mess. Someone said septum alt freak. Yeah. No, I'm a septum alt freak here to tell you I don't even understand how this is working. Who are you? What is the point? But I'm stalling. It's also literally everything. Do y'all remember back then? Chad, who of you remembers that really annoying poly backlash? It still happens, by the way, where every so often you would have a video going super viral because people would point to like a poly relationship and be like, oh my god, these are the weirdest people ever. There's 3 people and they live together and are in a relationship. I distinctly remember this. Videos with millions and millions and millions and millions of views. Where it's like, oh my god, these 5 people are all in. And what was really the point of any of this? He is still on this timing of pretending not to understand how public relationships work, etc. So he calls her boyfriend in this clip because she tells him that she's in an open relationship with her partner, and this is how that goes down.
Okay with your woman looking like this?
Yeah. The world kind of aging.
Also, are you okay with your woman looking like this?
Provided, once in a while.
Don't you resist it? And what do you think about her going out there and slapping flaps behind your back while you're not going out there and having any fun?
Yes, well.
Chad, imagine that somebody asked your boyfriend if he was okay with his woman.
Hey, thank you for the likes. Sorry, I was a little bit.
Is it the 50s? Does a man's opinion have anything?
I'm a little bit into the video right now. I don't know how to actually show you, but yeah, I'm watching this video, which is actually a live stream from D'Angelo Wallace. My mother just sent me something. Okay, so basically, yeah, he's talking about this guy who's called Caleb Hammer, which I don't know, didn't know he existed, honestly. And I saw someone saying, or another YouTuber, oh wait, this is about my best friend. Wait a minute. Sorry. I was writing him in English. Oh man. Okay, sorry. There's been pretty heavy rain and bad weather. Okay, he's alive, he's fine. In Italy, it's been raining. I saw that in UK has been raining since the beginning of 2026. In Italy it's the same. So I think I am in UK, but without the UK beauty, honestly. But yeah, so I was talking about the video I'm watching. So it's basically a 4 hours live stream that D'Angelo made. D'Angelo Wallace, I don't know if you know him, but still. and is about this guy called Caleb Hammer, which is he was supposed to be a finance advisor in the beginning of his YouTube career, but then something obviously switched, and he became. I just watched. I just looked at his channel before watching the D'Angelo videos, and now I'm watching the live stream. And the first thing that popped, like I don't know this guy. I don't know what he does, what he talks about. But the first things I saw is the description of the channel, which says he's a finance guy, blah blah blah. He's supposed to help people get their finance straight and be better, you know, spending, blah blah blah. But the first things that I saw after reading the description of the channel was like all these thumbnails for the videos, and some, mainly in all the thumbnails there's his face, like crazy face. I don't like it here because you cannot see me and I cannot see you. Okay, I'll put it here. Will it fall? Yeah, it will fall. With this thing here, man. Okay, so ma io potrei, che modo?
Flaps behind your back while you're not going out there and having any fun.
Chad, imagine if somebody asked your boyfriend if he was okay with his woman. Look, are you a woman? Would you appreciate that question? Is it the 50s? Does a man's opinion have anything to do with how you choose to present at this point? I don't think so. But anyways. I find this to be absolutely fascinating of how Caleb is going to try so hard to make this look stupid, to make her look stupid, to make this guy look like some sort of whatever, and it just doesn't work. All that happens is he commits cringe and dies on camera every single second. It's a new death of Caleb Hammer. It's very painful.
We'll consent.
Get briskets and barbecue.
Wait, that's unrelated. That's unrelated.
No, it's not related.
Alright, bye, honey.
She's get pussy and you're not.
Yeah, we've been known about this.
Yes, I'm trying to get. You stop talking for him, you domineering. Dude, I'm trying to understand his opinion from his mouth.
Alright, talk to him.
She's going out there and f***ing women, you're not.
Well, I mean, you have higher sex drive than I do.
Yeah, I do.
So,
That's
I
the
mean,
thing.
Where is the issue? I'm struggling. I think we watched him try to force this issue like 3 or 4 times in a 30-second span. He knows, she knows, and he is not in their relationship. So how does any of this matter? Literally at all. This is unhinged. I do think at the very least, back when this content used to pop off, people like this would get very offended, as they should. And a lot of the videos were about like, oh, we triggered this person and this, that, the other. I don't even really think it offends the average person anymore. It just comes across as you looking like an idiot. It always has, but like, I struggle to parse this reality. Also, he's racist. Sorry. I'm literally looking. I'm looking at the line in my outline right now about the racism, and I'm like, can y'all just take my word for it? Do we actually? Can y'all just believe me? No, hold on. I'm sorry. I'll make it really quick. So the boyfriend in question is Vietnamese, and upon seeing a picture of him, for some reason, Caleb immediately reacts this way, which I find to be so strange.
Look at that. Look how different.
Oh my gosh.
That was in Vietnam. He proposed to me in Vietnam earlier this year.
Oh, he's such a little gay boy.
Little gay boy.
Yeah. Hold on.
Look, you're one to talk, love.
Huh?
You're one to talk, love.
Why?
Why? I don't know. I'm sorry.
Why are you assuming that I'm gay? People say I'm gay all the time, but
He's so cute. I love.
So, I feel like so many things just happen in a 20-second span. Where do I start? I'm not an Asian man. However, I've commonly seen that emasculation of Asian men is a problem and is rooted in racist stereotypes and misunderstanding of what masculinity looks like in other places. I am not the one who can sit here and tell you, oh yeah, looking at a random person who committed being Asian and calling them gay is racist. If anybody actually wants to opine here, does anybody want to opine on this who has more of an understanding or relation to this? I'm sort of from the outside trying to largely point at what's going on here to me. There may be much more, but that personally is like, isn't this the anti-Asian emasculation that people have been explaining has been happening and constantly happens all the time? That's what I thought it was. Yeah, I see people saying like, it is, yeah, no, it's definitely, that's what I perceived it as personally. But if that somehow was literally not like enough, he just starts going down the list of the normal things that people do, or the more obvious things that people do when they're trying to be racist for actually no reason. As if there was a reason to be racist.
No, it's when Vietnam.
okay. Does he know what you're saying when you propose these plans?
Yeah. Well, because the thing is, I'm like, whatever with kids. Like, I do like
Oh,
children.
he's just a little gay, fat Vietnamese guy that has a domineering clown dot woman, and I think he's not
Not most of the time.
I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a teacher. I haven't used a projector in a long time. I'm not an expert on projection. I'm really not. I'm just going to say,
I'm like, whatever with kids. Like, I do like
Oh,
children.
he's just a little gay, fat Vietnamese guy that has a domineering clown dot woman, and I think he's not
Not most of the time.
I'm not going to call it projection because I don't know what's going on here and I don't want to know. All I'm saying is, anytime I see somebody drawing like 50,000 conclusions about something out of thin air, I'm just like, where is this coming from, Caleb? Where is this coming from? I think he would be a little happier if he realizes there's nothing wrong with being a fat, gay person who wants to be dominated by whatever. Like, my brother in Christ. This is weird. This is a level of humiliation that you could not actually pay. You could not pay me. You could say, D'Angelo, we're going to give you $1 million to go there and project without realizing, and everybody's going to be like, oh, you seem like you're projecting. Oh, no, this is not it. Also, I say this not to actually make assumptions about sexuality, which I don't know or don't care. And I'm not even a big fan of implying that anytime somebody is being homophobic, they're actually gay. That's not my point. I think they'll understand my point. Everything about this man is some sort of strange projection. It's fake. It's phony. It comes across really poorly. And then it just goes on and knocks the guy's accent.
He just accepts everything because he just wants to, and then he cut corners while you go out there blast vagina. So this is so wild. I'm just seeing the picture. To be very clear, it's just you have an idea. It's okay.
No, why does he have that accent?
Because he was born and raised in Vietnam.
Well, first of all, he moved here when he was like 11, so he's been here longer in the United States than in Vietnam.
Right.
By like,
Which means they usually still have access sometimes, but
We're done. I won't show you any more clips from this video. I'm closing it. I'm closing the tab. Don't worry. You never ever have to see me interact with this person again. I'm not done with the video by any half. I'm not done with the video, but we're done with this interaction. I can't do it anymore. I'm out. this was gonna happen. I think last stream that I did, I wound up in a tough situation where I got really like heated because we were going through some mess, and then I crashed out. So I think I actually knew that this was going to be so incredibly painful. I entered some sort of chill, perma chill. I'm literally going off of vibes right now. I'm going off of vibes right now. But he's a finance channel though. He's a finance channel. He's a finance channel. Okay, so this is the part where we enter. This is the part where we enter the actual Twilight Zone. I feel like this in and of itself is not necessarily enough to get me thinking. I just see this and I think of block, right? When I tell you all you have to do is go to this channel, get Oldest, and get a completely different human being. He's the same dude, obviously. Nobody can go this downhill in 3.5 years. When I tell you though, everything about the way he presented himself 3.5 years ago, it's 2 different channels. So his content was actually finance stuff. He was talking to people like a normal human being talks to people. He didn't even sound the same. Hold on. Let's find this video right here where he's thanking everybody for 1,000 subscribers. Some of this is just on-camera awkwardness, and that's fair. But some of this is like, there's no way this is the same dude. I said that I made myself bigger, as if you're just gonna watch me. No.
Honestly, my mind is blown. I could not be more grateful to everyone who's made this first month absolutely amazing. Celebrate with me by giving this video a like so that YouTube.
Who is this? No, I'm telling you, this is what I do over here. Let me pull one of the clips where he's actually interacting with somebody. It's strange. It's so strange. Here. And you're gonna be sure because we're actually talking about finance here. We're actually talking about finance.
Today we'll be meeting the client. Currently he's about 6.
I keep fucking more than I should. I keep usually around 10. Like, put it in the DoorDash and go pick it up. It's still eating out a lot.
Like when I did see something on here that made me very happy, and that's a Lupe tortilla.
I go there every
Every Friday, really? Dang, I love Lupe. That's really good.
Yep, it's like no margarita.
Employment period, it would have felt better though if you didn't have those monthly payments, right?
It was right around the time that I got started. Go back.
I think I constantly feel the urge to call people like this fake and just be like, you were actually performing an entire personality. Not him, not like him right here. He seems fairly sweet. 3.5 years ago, clearly wasn't him. The way he is now. I've been trying to tell y'all that this is actually a form of performance, all of it. Every single aspect of it, none of it is real. You have people like this who are a little awkward, a little uncomfortable, maybe even have some snippet of good intention or something like this, and they realize, oh, here is a way to be that is about putting other people down. It's not actually about addressing anything that is bothering me, etc. So no, like, dude, when I saw what his older content was like, I was like, I could have told you he was a fraud, but I didn't think it was to this extent at all. It is literally alternate Caleb. Someone said genuine incel. Well, that's incel them. That is incel them, though, by the way. Like, doubling down on, I'm actually just going to start being really hateful to women because that's easier than working on anything that has to do with myself. Nasty. Somebody said the reason I unsubscribed from Caleb was after seeing his live mocking gay black men for no reason. Color me surprised. I didn't even see that, but I'm sure that happened. Actually, can I go on a tangent, by the way? Can I go on a tangent about black people and being LGBT and the way people talk about it? Y'all are so, not all of y'all, weird about black people in the LGBT community to the point where it's like, y'all never believe it, or for some reason, you always feel the need to inextricably link it to race. Now, granted, being queer is actually inextricably linked to race in many ways, but like, an example of this is like Tyler the Creator, who I'm not promoting, I'm just saying Tyler the Creator like coming out publicly and then no one believing him and being like, no, that can't be true, he's just kidding. And then you still have the odd person in his fan base trying to like minimize any aspect of queerness that you'll get from black people, black men. It's like, okay, or another example is
Who's Tyler the Creator? Do you know Tyler the Creator? The Creator. Rapper. Okay.
it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, I always see the word black stuck in front of. Like lesbian, for example. She's a black lesbian. If you're self-identifying this way, that's fine. And that's not what I'm getting at here. It's always just like you can't ever just be queer when you're queer. And also POC, you always have to be. Everyone's going to let you know, oh, you're this version of it, you're that version of it. What is it about the existence of, say, black gay people that just makes you think, I have to opine on this? This is so weird. You're mixing two things that don't go together. That was my little tangent. I'm so tired. I'm sleepy. Someone said I'm a black lesbian. Yo, keep rocking on. Please do. It's wild. Actually, here's an example. Someone said I'm back. Are we done watching me in some videos? Yes. There's no... Checking my outline for this person. Yes. There's no more incel videos in this outline. Here, I'll give you an example, though. I'll give you an example. That way it feels a little more real. I used to get hit with the black lesbian allegations all the time. Okay, here's an example of me. I'm trying to find a version of me looking peak. I don't know. What for some people is feminine. Let's see. Oh, we can pull my Ozempic video. I always pick that one because that might have been my most quote unquote feminine presenting look or whatever. People who are confused by me, which is many people, they'll always be like, oh, he looks like a black lesbian. Why does he look like a black lesbian? D'Angelo, black lesbian, black. I'm like, why can't I just look like a lesbian? The answer is because I'm a man. But like, I don't even think people realize how stupid. Okay. I don't even think people realize how internalized their biases are. That like to you, this is like a separate species of thing. You're gonna look at me and immediately stick my race in it because you thought I was gay because I put butterfly clips in my hair and looked really, really pretty. Y'all are just wild. Y'all are wild. But yeah, I wouldn't actually care if I was black lesbian. I'd be like, yes, I am, but I'm not because I'm a man. So that's my experience personally. But yeah, no, I'm over it. So it's just a. Thank you. I think that might have been perhaps my best look from that era. I definitely had a lot of good ones, but that one, I was like, okay, we peaked. But you know what's wrong though? Or you know, you want an insight into my personality? When I did hit this look right here, this is really funny. And I'm being so for it right now. When I hit this look, and I was like, oh, we hit peak pretty. The ADHD settled in, and then I was like, now shave all your hair off. I was like, now start dressing in all black and start like. I am literally never satisfied. I was like, okay, we reached the summit. Now it's time to just start something completely new. So yeah, I was like really, really, really happy with my presentation, and that's why I went and completely overhauled my presentation again for no reason because I can't ever leave anything alone. So someday, when you find me, and I feel like I hit peak, whatever this aesthetic is, I'm probably gonna turn around and do something else. You ever wonder why does he constantly change his aesthetic? Because I can't sit still. I can't sit still. Nothing is ever finished with me. It's wild. Someone said, I remember when you were constantly asked if you were a woman. I know. And then the thing is, too, like, the reason that you're not going to get a lot of dudes who are chill with this look. Can I please close my mouth? It's not YouTube. Okay, there we go. The reason you're not going to get a lot of dudes who are chill with this look is because if you ask the average dude if he's a woman, he's going to freak out. He's going to freak out. He's going to be like, I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman. I started doing a deeper voice because he lives inside of me. He lives inside of me. There is that scared, weird male gender performance version of me. He's trapped in there. I killed him, though. He's dead. But, like, his ghost is in there, worried about, like, oh, they're going to think I look this, they're going to think I look that. And it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter. And nothing matters. So I feel like that's why I was finally able to start really hitting those aesthetic heights I was always looking for. Because I'm like, I don't care if y'all think I'm this, that, the other. I don't care if y'all think I'm gay. I don't care if y'all think I'm whatever. The only thing that I am is not. I'm non-binary. I am a man. But, like, and that's about it. I'm queer in that I'm not straight. Other than that, I'm not actually anything. I never was anything. That's why it doesn't matter. You can call me whatever you want. I prefer he and pronouns. I use those exclusively. But like, it don't matter what you think I am, because I ain't. Anyways, but like, that level of self-acceptance that I have was really difficult to get to. I definitely, when I was a teenager, was more so just like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. Oh, by the way, bro is older than me. I'm not making any excuses for this loser. I'm sorry. You are 30. This ain't a child. This ain't an excuse. I'm just telling you, when I was an actual teenager, yes, I was deeply uncomfortable, and that's why so much of my, I don't know, whatever you want to call whatever I have was directed outward at other people. But then when I started, like, being chill, I didn't feel the need for anybody to think I was the most masculine, misogynist person in the room. But yeah, when men finally learn that misogyny is not a shortcut to appearing masculine, we will finally be on the way to freedom. And then when men finally learn that actually appearing masculine is a joke and not necessary or important at all, we'll be free. We'll finally be free, but we're not there yet. And that's why I'm going to get into his subreddit. So look at this. It actually used to be where he was posting helpful stuff and everybody was really, really happy to see his growth in the beginning. Caleb just featured on Graham Safan's channel. And you have Caleb right here on Reddit, by the way. Caleb's account, his Reddit account is going to come back up because there's some stuff there that's like, brother, no. Saying, somebody initially was like, oh, I don't really like this guy that Caleb's with. You just saw it. You just saw the ADHD. You just saw it. Usually you don't see it. That's so funny. I'm like constantly masking so as not to sound like that when I explain things. But if you were ever wondering what it is actually like in my mind, it's that. I was starting to say 3 different things at the same time. Okay. What I was going to say, someone said you didn't catch it. If you didn't catch it, that's good. If it just felt like me stumbling over my words, that's fine. What it actually was me trying to explain. Caleb went on this dude's channel, Graham Stephen. You have someone on Reddit complaining that they don't like Graham's YouTube thumbnails or his packaging. And this is Caleb's response to that. But I started saying all 3 of those things at the same time. It just came out stupid. Not stupid. I'm not stupid. Well, I am stupid. But not because I'm neurodivergent. That's how I feel about the word ADHD as well. Or that's how I feel about the word crazy. Like, I'm not crazy because I'm mentally ill. I'm crazy because I'm crazy. I don't support labeling people crazy. I don't think it's a good word. It's very dismissive. But let me tell you right now, I reclaim the heck out of that word. I am crazy. I am crazy. But not because of the reasons that society thinks I am. Anyways, this is Caleb's response. I don't want to get into the negative convos, but I feel I should respond to this. The platform essentially forces content creators to create these kinds of thumbnails, referring to Graham's thumbnails. And once you know which thumbnails work, you are forced to use them. So says Caleb 3 years ago. If you use something that does not get an instant amount of certain clicks within the first hour, your video will not be put in front of people. Trust me, creators do not enjoy this, but we are forced to play the game. Somebody right here said, that's what the Nazi said too. Ooh. I'm gonna leave that comment in the air. This idea that YouTube made Caleb. Well, it's funny because Caleb wasn't even talking about himself. At this point, when Caleb posted that, his thumbnails were fine. These are okay. There's nothing wrong with these thumbnails. They're not that bad. But the idea that he actually has to do this now, dun dun dun, like, Caleb, you can just opt out of it. You can actually just opt out of it. I don't have to do all that. Now look, let me tell you this right now. My thumbnails do look crazy. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and lie about my YouTube thumbnails. I do some crazy stuff in them because I need them to be cohesive. That's actually more important to me than performance. But also, I need them to stand out when they're in the sidebar. So I'm not a good metric. I just want to tell you, you can do anything to stand out. It doesn't have to be leading into like this ugly, awful thing that you're doing right now. Here, look. Here's a D'Angelo thumbnail. Yes, I absolutely have to go ham. Yes, I absolutely have to go crazy, go stupid with the thumbnails. But you know what I don't have to do? I don't have to do... I hate the Shots Pikachu face that every YouTuber thinks that they have to do. Like, I choose not to do it because I don't want to. I don't have to edit the people I'm talking about to look worse than they are. I don't have to do any kinds of crazy editing. I just arrange things in a way that is somewhat discombobulated. And I rely on something called the information gap. Because if you've ever wondered what it says behind my thumbnails, what does it say? Actually, what does that say? Oh, I think it says hatefulness. Because I was talking about Amy Schumer being hateful. There's a gap, an information gap, where you're thinking, I don't even know what this says, but it's reading as text. And in general, I would like to know more about that. And you click it, and it's like, it doesn't even matter what it says. Yes, you do have to play the game, for sure, but I totally refuse to accept this idea that, like, that means you have to be uploading the worst, most eye-destroying, ugly, nasty thumbnails you have ever seen. Like, my brother in Christ, y'all look like corpses in these thumbnails. Y'all actually look dead in these thumbnails. I still want to look beautiful, okay? I can't do it. I just can't do it. Someone said that's so rude. I wasn't trying to say that. I said I don't have to edit people to look worse than they do. That was bad wording, chat. I don't have any sort of opinion on Amy Schumer's face. Actually, here's my unpopular opinion. I don't think anybody in Hollywood is ugly. I think as much as we like to point fingers and be like, oh, this person is ugly, or that person is ugly, or like this person is ugly, we're being really silly because these people are famous. None of them are actually ugly. But no, I would not call, I'm not into the business of calling somebody ugly. It was bad wording on my part, but thank you for calling it out. All right, so anyways, getting back into this, I want to show you that, like, bro genuinely sold out. Okay, he was on the verge of greatness. Someone said, did she DM you hate yet? That's a good point. I actually don't check my DMs for any reason, but later, some point next week, because I'm getting off work after this stream, but next week, I'm gonna check. I'm not gonna make a whole video if Amy Schumer gets mad about a 19-minute video by her, but I am curious. So it's a hot take, nobody's ugly. I also have a hot take, but y'all are not ready for that. Anyways, so yeah, look, you have people 3 years ago seeing Caleb pass 1 million views, getting really happy for him, getting 1 million views on one video. He barely has 250,000 subs, and Caleb's... I died. And Caleb's over here saying, so blessed for all the support. People saying, you've got this, you deserve it. What did you have? This one user saying, nice. Do you have any thoughts about why this one in particular has had the most views? Maybe the internet likes to see pretty blonde women get berated? Lol. I find this to be a fascinating story because every single piece of what's currently happening right now was foretold. You got people telling him, bro, you saying I'm just following orders has historically been a really horrible way of making decisions. Hey, that's kind of weird actually that the first time you ever popped off is because you seem to have framed this video really negatively against a woman and people are just clicking in because they want to see her. It is wild. It's fascinating. I don't usually like the word fascinating because it makes everything I say sound like a science experiment. It's fascinating though, in a vacuum, while also still being pretty serious. Alright, so moving on. I also just feel like he sold these people out, in my opinion. This is not a cool thing to do, to get all the way up to 250,000 views because people think that you're helping people, right? And to essentially realize, oh, I can 10x this performance. Maybe we could do 2.5 million views and now, or 2.5 million subscribers, I'm sorry. To get all the way to 250,000 subscribers. And then realize, like, oh, I can just switch into all this nasty stuff because it works better. How was that initial 250,000 subscribers supposed to feel? We have the answer. his early audience genuinely hates the stuff that he's doing right now. That's not what they signed up for, and that's not why they were supporting him. He wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't for them, obviously. I wouldn't be right here on YouTube yapping if it wasn't for people believing in me whenever they did. But look, hold on. His mods go crazy, deleting any and everything on his subreddit. You have people talking about his course. He was trying to sell everybody $1,000 course, which we'll get into in a second. And sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of Caleb Hammer. But you have people still in the comments like, nah, this is questionable, this course is weird, smells like a grift to me, he's a sellout. At this point, I just watch the show to be curious about how awful people are with their finances, to watch him scream at them. It's frustrating to use him. It's frustrating to hear him using language that sounds like the financial grifters on YouTube. Baby, he is the financial grifters on YouTube. I'm gonna tell you right now. Reddit user, I can't say your username because you disappeared, that's wild. But like, he gave essentially everything that he needed. Let's see. What else we got? This is a good outline, actually. I really like this one. Like, as much as one can. It's not only that kind of stuff that gets deleted. They delete stuff about his content in general. Caleb has jumped the shark. I think it's become more of a drama channel than anything. People complaining about the course again. Sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of Caleb Hammer. This next one is actually funny. This next one is actually genuinely funny to me. They also delete posts of people rightfully upset at their deleting posts. So you have delete section. Caleb and his team are actively suppressing negative comments on the investing program on this channel. Sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of Caleb Hammer. He essentially just ignored them, or tried to minimize them and put them in the box, or essentially kick them out of the community and be like, okay, well, it's not about you guys. Thanks for the money, but now I figured out spam the hate woman button is going to get me way more support than y'all could ever give me. I find that to be really, really, really gross. I find it to be worse than if you went into this wrong. It's so much worse than if you just from jump were like, yeah, I'm going to be like this. It's awful. Anyways, I feel like this comment right here is what holds up the best. I had already said it, but like, when he first started, he used to mock these courses low. He's literally the epitome of what he wants mocked. The bloke would be a guest of his own show if his videos didn't take off. He really, really would. I think people talk about like, oh, how do you lose a career on YouTube? I feel like usually the fastest way to lose your career is to present yourself as antithetical to how people perceive you. So for example, if I was to hop on a video and start invalidating people and being like, actually, I'm going to use slurs because I think it's funny now, or I'm going to try to be super, this, that, the other, I can trust that's not going to go well for me, especially in the short term. But unfortunately, it does go well in the long term if you do sort of ignore the people that you're pissing off and just focus on the new people that could be joining you. Forget everybody who's watching this live stream. There's an audience of kids out there, and I crave that dollar. This is how this happens. This is how we wind up in this scenario. Anyways, I'm looking at. By the way, if you're like, okay, well, D'Angelo, he's not like helping people anymore. Is he at least helping the people on the show? Someone said Nicki Minaj is an example. Nicki Minaj is great. Nicki Minaj is a very illuminating example of exactly what I'm talking about. She doesn't have to worry about people who cared about her music at any one point, this, that, the other. She only has to keep the people who are okay with bigotry and worry about all these new bigots that she stands to profit from. And it's painful. I was in her audience, Chad. I was in her audience. Excuse me. I loved Nicki Minaj. She was so cool. I feel like I'm not going to go on a rant about how cool Nicki Minaj was. I just want to say it's really painful when somebody is actually doing something that is culturally very important for many people, and you're getting representation that you didn't often see, and then that person blows up their whole brand, their whole everything, in the name of taking money from people who hate you. Ow. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. That being said, I would be the first to say, forget Nicki Minaj, screw her, remove her from the playlist. Please, no, I'm not a defender. My feelings on Super Bass have nothing to do with my current opinion on Nicki Minaj. I don't want to see her. She needs to stop spreading awful stuff on her platform. But it sucks. And that's actually what I was getting at. I'm glad you brought her up. I want to say this is sad. It's bigoted and awful, but there's a lot of sad people involved who just get stepped all over. It's not good. Someone said it feels insane that Nicki Minaj is now providing some in 2026. Literally anybody who is aligning themselves with ICE right now, and there's multiple people. Well, obviously you have ICE itself, but then there are these other celebrities I've seen. I think Kevin O'Leary, yesterday on the stream, he wasn't on the stream, but when I was talking with Lauren, we saw this statement from Kevin O'Leary. I feel like it was in Support Advisor or something like that. Oh, no, that's not what it was. That's not what it was, actually. Hold on. I'll tell the story. Yes, I have seen people supporting ICE, whatever that even means. We're just supporting people being murdered, which is wild to me. No, it was actually Kevin O'Leary was on the stream, or maybe he was in an interview saying, don't release the Epstein files. That was the take. I remember I was like, there was a Kevin O'Leary take, and it was equivalent to, it was the same level of insanity as like, yes, I support. No, he was saying, no one cares about the Epstein files, don't release those, it doesn't matter. So yes, we do live in a world where you have Nicki Minaj cozying up to this administration, people being like, yeah, I support ICE, people being like, oh, those Epstein, don't worry, don't drop those. Which, by the way, the only way that you would not want those files to be public, there's only one reason I can think of. Because I would like those to be released in full, not in what we're being told is full. because that's like justice, obviously, and also because that doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm not going to be suddenly implicated in anything as we move towards justice, right? If you're like, uh-oh, they keep releasing more and more of these, I need to speak up and say no one really cares about that. Stop paying attention to this. Why are you concerned about that? That is wild. But yes, all this to say, people have the most insane takes in 2026, and I guess maybe that's too why it's painful that you have people like this, being Caleb, trying to make normal things seem insane. that is maybe why I feel like we're losing track of what is actually unhinged and what is actually decent. Hold on. I'll pull this channel back up. We're not gonna watch the video. We're not gonna watch the video. I promise. How in a world where you have people sharing the opinions that I just shared, are you gonna have these live right now? That's really funny. What is he doing? Okay. Anyways, how are you going to have people out here who are just off, and we're gonna be like, you are the freak because you're in an open relationship and you wear clown makeup and dress in all black, and I'm gonna keep trying to make you seem like you don't have a grip on reality. When in reality, you have people doing things like this and espousing opinions like this. That's why this is just so backwards. It's so disgusting. People were saying this stuff that was linked recently is heinous. Yeah, no, I would not like to talk about the Epstein files at all, mostly because there's nothing I can contribute that is important, or that you don't already know. I just want to say that that's disgusting, and all of it is disgusting and awful, and that's why y'all being other people have got to stop defending rich people and people who are just richer than God, because this is what they do. They make things go away and they get away with things for decades. Why would you ever look at a rich person and defend them at this point? Honestly, all rich people are on the level of people who are in the Epstein files. I'm showing you what money is used to do by powerful people. I don't even understand how we still have stands for the establishment at this point when you just see the level of corruption that it probably is. It's nasty. Someone said we need to see his life. Okay, yeah, everybody stay here in my life, because if YouTube gets the idea that I am rating or whatever, they're gonna get mad. Just stay right here. Don't go to his channel. I'm just going to watch his channel. I'm a little bit curious. Oh, he's on Dave Ramsey? No, he's not on Dave Ramsey. Oh, he's just doing it. He's just doing it. He's Caleb hammering live. Chat, we're doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing right now. This is Caleb Hammer's section. Caleb Hammer is Caleb hammering all over YouTube, and I am sitting here telling y'all this is not it. And we're both gonna post the video, and then we all know how that's gonna go. Oh my god, that's surreal. That's really interesting. I do often think of, or I always know that like the people I'm talking about are real people, obviously. But I guess the idea of me talking about someone's content as they are actively making it and doing the thing that I'm saying, hey, this guy sucks, and all the stuff that he's putting out sucks, and it's really just like, which one will YouTube love more? Whichever one gets more views. That is uncanny. That's so strange. I don't like it. Someone's in commentary section. Nah, fam. It's a no for me. People were saying he only has 1.5k viewers. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not making fun of his viewer count, because when you do things like that, karma's gonna get you, and then I'm gonna drop. What I want to say is that most streamers, I feel like their live stream numbers are low when they're also big channels, because they're not doing good stream content. This is not what everybody in your audience wants to see. You have 2.8 million followers right now, right? And what you're streaming is not actually close enough to the content you're putting out. I get questions about D'Angelo. Your chat is just popping off all the time. D'Angelo, you know, the ratio, I guess, of viewers to subscribers or whatever, how do you pull it off? 2.8 million people will see that you're live. They don't all have notifications on. They will skip your live if they don't feel like it is actually relevant. I get viewers in my live streams because I'm trying to give y'all the same experience you get outside the live streams. We're on the tangent. I don't understand why people, y'all gotta lock in. Y'all gotta lock in. Y'all gotta lock in. But anyways, like I said, everybody stay right here in this chat. What's Steven? Who is Steven? Steven? Did I see the name Steven anywhere? It's not on my Why did I just rename it? It's not in my outline either. Okay, well, that was odd. Anyways, what Caleb is doing right now doesn't really matter that much. It really doesn't matter. Someone said Hassan has 1.8 million and had 100,000 people. Yes, the point is like, y'all can optimize your streams a little better. Don't just go live and assume that everybody knows what you're doing. They probably don't. Anyways, moving on. Sorry, Steven. If you're watching this, I don't even know who you are. You projected into my thoughts, and then I just started dragging you. That was a glitch. That was a glitch right there. All right, moving on. I want to talk about, hold on, so we talked about Israeli content, the Reddit stuff, oh yeah, the mods deleting everything. Oh yeah, okay, what I was going to say was, so we've already kind of gotten into, obviously this content is not helping people at this point, but like, is it even helping the people who are on the show? Obviously the answer is no, but I really like this person who did an AMA. They were asked, like, hey, how much of the conversation did you feel was for entertainment value versus concrete advice you took into the future and your finances? Just acknowledging the show's entertainment. And they said, I'll try to keep it brief. This was such a good question. For me in particular, I think there was a bigger fundamental cultural/value disconnect where I technically wasn't doing that bad financially, so rather than the usual taquitos type of rating, he had to, quote, find other things to push back on that weren't necessarily conducive or productive. Ultimately, I think he means to provide 50-50 entertainment, but appealing to masses means the info can get so basic/repetitive/surface level that I realized he didn't have as much value to provide those. Who need to move beyond the bare minimum state one, financial literacy. So in other words, like, who is this for? You know what I mean? Who is this actually for? Chat, can we please move on from Hassan? In the chat, I know I wasn't talking about him or his content, and I'm also not interested in that conversation. Anyways. So, I mentioned him by name. Also, can I please say, it's okay, y'all can share your opinions in the live chat all you want. But a mention by name doesn't always ever mean anything. Sometimes people's names exist, and they still exist in the sphere. Oh my god. Oh my god. Actually, you know what? No, you know what? You know what? Actually, I'm already here. Chat. I don't want to talk about people who talking about them always turns into this. There are definitely some people on YouTube where whenever you bring up their name, everything just starts getting really heated. I promise you, it doesn't matter. I don't have anything to add to these conversations. So anybody who is like deeply controversial, whose name has turned into a hot button topic or whatever, that's not why I'm streaming. I don't care about stand-based wars. It's so uninteresting to me. This is not why I log on to you. I'm not cussing out. Don't worry, I'm not cussing out. I'm not cussing out. I'm just telling you, I'm not interested at all. Don't involve me and don't look for me to be like, oh, I'm going to clip this because he said this one thing and supported this person. Oh, but I'm in this other person's fan base, so actually D'Angelo was on my side and this, that, the other. I'm not saying that's what y'all are doing just because everyone was mentioning it. I'm just saying, it's a no for me, dog. I'm nobody's mouthpiece. I'm just trying to get a bag. I'm just trying to get a bag. That is me. Someone said no EHD. Yeah, exactly. And if you even know what that means, you should definitely understand why I'm unwilling to talk about it. That's enough of that. Thank you. All right, so getting back into it. Oh yeah, so this person also said, besides saying that they felt like it was entertainment over education, someone said if you could go back in time and never appear on the show, would you? And they said yes, because I didn't really gain much and I didn't get to contribute to the conversation as I thought, and I never loved the idea of being perceived or having a digital footprint. Who else doesn't love the idea of being perceived? I think I'm in the same boat. Stephen Graham! That was the Stephen. Someone in the chat said Stephen Graham. It was Stephen Graham. I had talked about him, and then he got lodged somewhere. He got lodged somewhere in my brain. And so just now, when I called Caleb Stephen, not knowing where Stephen came from. Okay, thank you for walking back through my thoughts like this, because I was confused. Anyways, I'm not a fan of being perceived either. They also said, though, no, they don't want to go back in time and never do it, because it was a worthwhile experience to be on the other side of. And then the last one I have from them is essentially, someone said Stephen has been found. Chat, we have located Stephen. I was so lost. I was like, who? No, it was Stephen Graham. Who? Again, it's just a name to me. I don't have opinions on this channel. It's just part of the story. Anyways, someone said, how did your opinion of Caleb with the show change after being a guest? And Caleb said, honestly, I watched him less and moved up onto other financial content, but I still will listen in the background if I'm in the mood for a body double, a kicking reality check type boost. So all this to say, we get it. This at one point actually was financial content, but not even the people on the show see it this way. It's more just some like Dr. Phil nonsense. Let me invite people who are either fine and make fun of them, or people who are harmful and attribute all their harmful traits to things that are actually bigoted. It's mess. It's mess. So sometimes being perceived as stressful. It is. I agree with you. I'm being perceived quite visibly right now. And I'm not stressed out about it, but sometimes I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. People saying it's Stefan. Is it Stefan? Have I been saying his name incorrectly this entire time? Because I'm not a name mispronouncer. I'm not into that. That doesn't work for me. It doesn't do anything for me. Do you say Stefan like Stefan? No, it says Steven. Does anybody say Stefan? No, wait, is that the right guy? Oh, y'all finna piss me off. Because now I can't move on until I know. Is Stefan the name? I'm actually asking legitimately. Because anytime I see Steven spelled with a PH, I always read it as Stefan. Someone said it can be pronounced both ways. Oh, like Steph Curry. Yes, okay. Y'all should have just said Steph Curry. Stefan is a name, for sure. But I think Stephen Graham may just be Stephen.
Stephen Graham.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Stephen on this one. No, yeah, how did I forget that Stefan is totally a name? I just invalidated. Wait, people saying Grams? Okay, actually, his name isn't Stephen or Stefan. His name is Graham. I'm sorry, Graham. At this point, I have erased this man so many different ways. I ran this man's name into the ground at this point. I don't think I can mess it up any more than this. I confused him with Caleb Hammer. I switched his first and last name. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good on the Graham discourse. I have no more thoughts on the Graham discourse. Don't ever ask me about the Graham incident. Don't do it. You won't receive an answer. Anyways, let's talk about his app. I want to talk about the course. You know what? Yeah, let's do the course first. Why not? So Caleb Hammer has a $1,000 course. Someone said, wait, hold on. Chat's going really fast, but I saw the one. Someone said, it's been tough as an early watcher of Caleb's content to see how comfortable he's gotten perpetuating racist stereotypes. I would imagine the real-time experience of being this dude's fan is not it. Anyways, I would imagine. Okay, so This is the course, by the way, that you've seen various people referring to on Reddit. Again, this is the part where I can't sit here and be like, well, yes, I'm a financial expert, and this is how I know the course is bad. All I can tell you is charging $997 for the personal audit experience, which is ostensibly supposed to help you get your finances in order. Hold on, because there's like, he's claiming that this is actually a $7,000 offer, which he has marked down 86%. Chat, this is 90% off. You're getting, you only have to pay 10% of the actual value. I can't sit here and call this a scam, but I could definitely sit here and say, here, this is predatory. This is predatory. It just straight up is. This is obviously for people who don't have a good grip on their finances, and you're like, well, I can fix it for you for $1,000. This is unreal. You could buy the course in pieces if you don't have 1,000. Don't worry, you got 200. You could buy this one for 200. You could buy this one for 200. But yeah, no, if I was really feeling desperate right now, I could check out. Allowing people to do this is, to me personally, so deeply irresponsible. I would never, ever, ever allow anybody to pay me that much. No, it doesn't matter what I put in that course. I could have put a message from God himself in this. I would not charge you $1,000 for, especially knowing that's probably likely to draw people in who are already struggling. It's no. It's no. Someone said I bet it's 90% off all the time. How much you want to bet? I can't speak to that because I don't know, but how much you want to bet this is a permanent sale? Chat, if something is 90% off all the time, that means it's only 90% of the value that you're saying it is. It's only worth 10% of what you're claiming that original price was. Someone said I unfollowed him when he started offering courses. Valid unfollow. Valid reason to unfollow somebody. Alright, so, by the way, this is not the only thing that he has for people. He also has this app. Now, I feel like offering people an app to help them with finances, stuff like that, is a good thing. I'm not here to knock this. I'm not here to be like, oh my god, why is Caleb selling a course? That could theoretically be a useful thing. Why does Caleb have an app, etc.? I'm here to tell y'all, this is one of the lowest rated Google apps I have ever seen in my life. You have a 1.8. I need y'all to understand something. And you already understand this, but I have to say it anyway. When you are popular and you put something out, you're automatically going to get your ratings inflated. I want to show you an example right now. Iron Lung, which is a good movie, from what I've heard, and I'm really, 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 really excited to watch it. I'm really excited to watch it. I've seen various reviews and stuff. I'm gonna tell you right now, Markiplier has like a plus 10 to 15% bonus just off of stands to whatever review. I'm not saying you need to subtract from his review. I'm telling you, when you're popular and you put something out, you could put something out that's actually bad, and people will be in the reviews talking about 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. Now I believe the reviews because I read some of these. For you to actually only have your fans purchase this app, or it's free, yes. For you to only have your fans installing this app and still have a 1.8, you have to be pissing off everybody. It's difficult to do this as a creator. It's actually so hard to fail with your fan base. It's impossible. It's impossible. But he pulled it off because the app is uniquely bad. Hold on, let's read some of these reviews. I'm not going to read all the reviews. I just want to show you the main things that people are saying. I'm going to control F through these reviews. Look at this. Oh, wait. I guess I have to click all review first. Okay, here we go. See all. Control F. Easy cancellation. The free trial does not have any clear or easy cancellation path shown in the app. They gave us a 1 star. If you give somebody a free trial and you try to side off them out of feeling like they have the power to cancel it, that way you can get paid, that's scammy. That's scummy, at the very least. Even if it's not scammy, can we just say it's scummy? How about that? Then I don't have to worry about, oh, he called this a scam. It wasn't a scam. It's scum, though. It really, really, really is. What else do we have? People were saying, oh, that the app just straight up doesn't work. Look, you have super fans saying, I'm a huge fan of Caleb Hammer. I'll have his back on anything he does and support his businesses if I can. Unfortunately, I can't with this product. Sorry, that's such a funny review. This app it just simply doesn't work. I signed up for this thing. I tried to link my accounts, etc., etc. Everybody just keeps saying it doesn't do what it says it's going to do. Canceling it is like dying. It feels the same way. My brother in Christ. You gotta fix some of these issues before trying to offer people advice. I'll tell you that. That's my financial advice for Caleb Hammer. Please sort some of this stuff out before trying to be anybody's final word. Somebody said read his recent. Oh wait, is his recent post about how he's trying to fix the app? By the way, they know that the app is bad. Look, we're rebuilding DollarWise to help you. A new DollarWise is coming. Yeah, if I popped on this website and you're like, oh, why are they rebuilding the app? Because the app is garbage. It's garbage. Yeah, no, he's trying to relaunch it because of how bad it is, and I'm like. I guess he is following my advice. He's fixing his problems before helping other people. But like, no, this is absolutely a mess. All right, what else we got? We got the app. We got the course. Okay. So the next thing that I would like to talk about is like, sorry, I'm already dancing around it. I really don't like when people talk about content creators and it's some sort of commentary thing, and then this creator will also have allegations against them of any kind, and then the creator will just be like, oh yeah, there's also this really serious allegation, but I don't want to get into that. I would like to get into that because I think it's fairly important. But yes, major trigger warning right now for just sexual assaults in general, or in the form of unwanted touching, etc. So Caleb himself tells a story on Hinge, or about what happened to him on Hinge, which is a dating app. I think Hinge is a dating app. And it's just, his side of the story makes it sound like it's a funny thing that happened.
I went on this date with a crazy, I hadn't been on a date for 5 years. She opened up our conversation, yeah, I don't trust that, that should have been a red flag. And we went back to my place, tried to hook up, she didn't want to. And I was like, okay, please leave. So I called her an Uber because there was no interest outside of just hook up, and that's fine, essential, let's do whatever essential, let's not do. Then she left, and then she freaked the fuck out, got me banned on Hinge and stuff. Obnoxious. Now look.
Obnoxious. He says, chat, the reason that so many people get away with allegations like this, or why coming forward is so awful in the first place. You can say things like this on a massive podcast and get hundreds of thousands, if not millions of likes, and get it turned into TikTok energy, and that becomes a dominant narrative. And then your side of the story is just like a Reddit post in the dark. And unfortunately, that's what's going on here. So the person who he was talking about here came forward on Reddit and said, no, yeah, that was me, by the way, who got him banned off of not just Hinge, but Bumble and Tinder as well. And they explained, now this is, I'm not going to actually read this for you verbatim, but quite strange, triggering content talking about how he was touching her without consent, and it was just immensely uncomfortable. The reason, I believe allegations, regardless of anything really, there's no reason to try to discredit people coming forward, but the reason that you know that at the very least this person is the one who Caleb was talking about was because Caleb came on Reddit and tried to react to this and be like, oh, nah. Caleb was here on Reddit talking about, see, here we go, the over-sensationalism that we can't seem to get over since 2020. How much you want to bet he's going to over-sensationalize the heck out of this? This is why my creator friends privately recommended I get consent recorded, and we live in a single-party consent recording state, so after the insanity of last year, guess what? I did. It doesn't matter if you record somebody giving you their consent. It doesn't matter. That's not a gotcha. This is an absolutely horrible start to this sort of response, which we're not going to go through the whole thing. I just feel like that's a strong enough opening for you to understand this guy has everything so backwards. Little does this performative person who is chalking up what was just a bad date, yeah, I hated being there, and literally asked her to leave multiple times, as something horrible. Guess what? I voice message recorded our entire conversation that she's talking about, and it exposes her for all her lies. But F it, she wants to harm my career, so let's expose her. So yeah, bit by bit, he starts going through. Like, oh, she said the couch was wet? Yeah, because the cleaners cleaned it. She said that there was a camera in the room, which made her uncomfortable, and he said, yes, as a public figure, I have a security system. This is not in any private place like a bedroom or bathrooms and typical security places, okay? You gotta answer for everything. She said that he touched her leg after she said no, and he says that's beyond incorrect. I made a move. She looked at me odd. I pulled away and asked if it was okay, and she specifically said yes, so I did it again, and she said no, I didn't. She didn't consent. She didn't consent, Caleb. That's the only point that she was making. I don't think hopping on Reddit and being like, actually, here are the specifics of why every single point of this was wrong, and I'm going to treat this like YouTube drama with the receipts. Here's my receipts. I recorded everything. Really, really disturbing stuff. So it just goes on and on and on. He asked her to take a bath at one point, and he said, I tried to make a move, ladies and gents, a horrid thing to do. She rejected, and I was okay with it, and moved on. Again, it's 2025, so it means the R word, I guess. And no, I did not ask her to, quote, take a bath, blah, 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 blah. I know Gen Z views sex as a bad thing, but consensual sex is not bad. This is when I threw out 20 ideas in 1 minute. She seems to be hyper-focused on the bath, a passing by suggestion. I don't know why she's saying it like this, twisting the situation to make me look bad. It destroys her credibility. That's where you're getting some of this 2015 language popping back up. SJW, destroyed by facts and logic, destroyed by evidence. This is really disgusting, and I don't feel the need to, it's just so long. What I do feel the need to show you, because it's actually quite important and explains a lot, is, wait, that's not the right post. Look at this. So somebody said, holy cow, I keep trying to come up with funny jokes about budgeting right here because dating is a war zone. I'm sorry, things are so crazy. And Caleb says, people like her right now hold all the power. Does that sound familiar if you've been here for this entire stream? If you might have been like, hold on, I heard that line somewhere earlier in the stream. It was what he said right here.
People that look like
to this random woman, saying, essentially, we don't listen to people that look like you anymore. You've lost all power. I can't stress this enough. Underneath his misogyny is actually a genuine hatred and bitterness at the fact that anybody ever dared to come forward. And now all of this is some strange, like, punishment of women in general, because people like her right now hold all the power. They can literally say anything, and the commentary community will suck it up like water, and people who dislike me will leave it without a single thought, and she'll face zero consequences if she lies about things, but I will face them all. We live in a new era. I know how people like her work. I was ahead of it, and can literally destroy her in court. It's not a game anymore. It's time to fight back against this BS. Anybody who is espousing misogyny on me is obviously a problem, but this is actually a vendetta against women. This is inceldom. It doesn't matter. There's actually, in my mind, no other way of interpreting Caleb Hammer's whole grift. This was a whole year ago, and very much explains everything about the way he talks to every single woman, etc., etc. How dare this woman come forward after I tried to use the story of what I did to her for TikTok content? No. Someone said no. Yeah, no. It's a no. Someone said destroying court. You wouldn't even need to do that if you weren't being creepy. Well, I hate this punishment of people who come forward support in general of like, oh, you need to be completely silenced, and I'm going to use the resources that I have, and I'm going to try to build a picture where you're wrong. This is why people don't come forward. I am blaming Caleb Hammer as the reason for why people feel so deeply uncomfortable coming forward, feeling uncomfortable calling things SA when it is, but you don't want to say that because you feel like, oh, if I make this claim, people are going to destroy me, essentially. But no, he is actually on the warpath against women right now because he can't believe that he was ever called out. Anyways, if I had to, like, in conclusion, this, yes, I do sort of have a conclusion. It's not like, at this point, this isn't fun for anybody. I was just poking around his channel. Not even talking about like, oh, I was on Reddit where people are predisposed to liking Caleb or this, that, the other. I was just poking around his channel. And you find comments like, Lindsay, being the casting director, just seeks out the most imbalanced and unwell people. It has to stop. Referring to a guest they had on who actually was quite toxic. You have stuff like this on the same video talking about like, everyone was harmed in the making of this episode, including the audience. Yes, this is obviously said in a joking way, but this is absolutely it's not good content. I guess constantly seeking out people who are either the worst or making fun of people. Caleb, I think we need a palate cleanser episode next. Too many crazy folks that just want to be online. Can the next guest actually just want some help and have an informative chat? And then somebody says, boring. No, that would be boring. Wild. Hold on. So let me take a look at this outline really fast. In the past 90 minutes, we talked about him doing numbers on social media, the packaging problem, the misogyny that goes into his content, the way he talks about men versus women, this anti-SJW stuff that he's on, making fun of pronouns, gay dad, slurs, trying to trigger people, commenting on his guest's body. Yeah, it turns out the creep has allegations following him. Deeply unsurprising, yet still quite upsetting.